Welcome to video number 12. Now, video number 12 asks us to write the general conic form. And you remember from circles, hopefully, that general conic form, it's actually going to be the same thing for the ellipse. It's going to be ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. The only difference is that because this is an ellipse, A and B are going to be different, okay? And before we can put anything in general form, we're gonna have to put stuff in standard form, and then we'll multiply it out. All right, so let's get going here and let's see what the clues are. It tells me the vertices. Remember, my vertices are on my major axis, and it tells me my foci, which are also on my major axis. So I like to just do a very sort of quick sketch to kind of just visualize what's happening. And I'm going to graph my vertices. I'm going to go over -6, up +18. Again, this is not to scale. It doesn't matter. And the other vertex is at -6, 0. Okay, so I can then see that this must be a vertical ellipse. And why do I care about that? Well, I care about the fact that it's vertical because that would mean my standard form would be x minus h squared over b squared, right? Plus y minus k quantity squared over a squared. Remember, a squared always goes under the major axis, and in this case, because this is a vertical ellipse, the y-axis is major, so equals 1. So what we want to do is fill in hk b squared a squared, and then we'll multiply this out. Okay, the first thing we need is our center. Remember, the center is exactly in the middle of the two vertices. So I find the center by thinking about, okay, what's the midpoint? Well, if I look, the midpoint between -6 and 6 is just -6. So the h value is pretty straightforward. And the middle of 18 and 0 is 9. So I know that hk is -6, 9, and I'll fill that in eventually. Now, why is that important? Well, that allows me to calculate some other items. I know that the distance from the center to the vertex on the major axis is a, and I can see that if I'm at a y value of 9 and go to 18, I can see that a is equal to 9, which means that a squared, I'll just keep track over here, is equal to 81. Okay, now I just need to find b squared, but again, I'm going to need my foci for some hints. So let's just sort of graph where these are. One is at -6. I'm going to go up 9, which is going to get me here, plus another 3√5. So I'm somewhere here. Okay, that's one foci. Now, to get the letter C, I know that it's this distance here. How far did I go from the center to this point? Well, I must have gone an additional 3√5, okay, because this point is 9, and this point is 9 plus 3√5. So I know that C is 3√5, and that's important to calculate. I don't even really need to graph the other foci to figure that out. I now can remember that C is equal to plus or minus the square root of a squared minus b squared, and I can substitute. So this is 3√5. I'm just going to ignore the plus or minus for now. It's the square root of a squared, which is 81 minus b squared. Okay, I'm going to square both sides. And remember, squaring 3√5 squared is going to be 3√5 times 3√5. The square root undoes the squared term, leaving me with 81 minus b squared. Numbers multiply numbers, radicals multiply radicals. 3 times 3 is 9, √5 times √5 is 5, 9 times 5 is 45, equals 81 minus b squared. If I add b squared to both sides and I subtract 45, I'm going to get that b squared is equal to 36. Okay, So now I have all of my required info, and I'm gonna plug everything in to my standard form. Okay, so this is going to be x minus a minus 6, so x plus 6 squared. Because this is a vertical ellipse, b squared is going to go under the x, so this is 36, equals y minus k, and that's a y minus, oh, sorry, that should be a plus. What am I doing? Oops, sorry about that. Y plus 9 quantity squared over a squared, which we found to be 81, and that's going to equal 1. Okay, now, unfortunately, this is not in the form that we need it to be. We need this to be in general form. So basically, we need to multiply this out. And what's getting in our way are these annoying fractions, right? So what you want to do is you want to think about what is the least common denominator, the least common multiple. I want to multiply every single term in this equation by something to get rid of my fractions. So on your calculator, you can type in least common multiple and type in 36 and 81, or you can just think about it. But I believe the answer is going to be 324. If I multiply each term by 324, I will get the following. 324 divided by 36 gives me 9. This becomes 9 times the quantity x plus 6 squared. 324 divided by 81, that gives me 4 times the quantity y plus 9 squared. And then 324 must be multiplied by 1. Okay, so the key is to multiply by the least common multiple. I'm just going to multiply this out. This is 9 times the quantity, this is x plus 6 times x plus 6, right? Plus 4 times, this is going to be y plus 9. Oh, shoot, sorry about that. I need that to be minus. Whoops, I'm messing up a lot today. Sorry about that. So this should be y minus 9. You may have caught that already because k is positive 9. So hopefully you caught that and you are doing a better job than me here. Sorry about that. Equals 324. Okay, so that should say y minus 9. All right, so let's multiply this out. This is 9 times, I got x squared plus 12x plus 36 plus 4 times, this is y squared minus 18y plus 81 equals 324. All right, I'm going to distribute the 9. I get 9x squared plus 108x plus 324. Distributing the 4 plus 4y squared minus 72y plus 324 equals 324. And all that remains is I need to put this in the right form. You can see the 324s cancel, and I now just need to put everything in order. So first comes my 9x squared, then comes my 4y squared, then comes my linear x term, then my linear y term, plus my constant. I'm left with 324 equals 0. And this would be your final answer in general form, first gotten by putting everything in standard form. So with that, you should be able to do the assignment on the PowerPoint, which is numbers 18 through 20. As always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me.